fucking great concert, dude.
Yeah.
You know what sucks about that is that's like my first taste of a 21 Pilot concert, and I really enjoyed it and I liked it and it was dope. But like it's like it's like a tease.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like you guys talk about how great it is, Mom's experienced it, and it's like, man, that's as close as I'm gonna get so far. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking sucks. They put on a great show.
Hell yeah, they did.
And I love the work they did on it. Like, are we even talking about? Do they even know what we're talking about?
I don't think so. All right. We're talking about the 21 Pilots concert, just for everybody who's not informed about whatever.
Got the shirt on?
Yeah, we got the T-shirts on. I'm wearing mine.
But like what I liked is like everything they cut into, like it was really well put together. Like when they had the scene where it was like the red lights were going.
Yeah.
And like it made it seem real because they showed all the background stuff from the other props and stuff. So it was like, man, that's fucking cool. They're really I hate when I can't get the right words, but they put really good thought into how they put it together.
They're really ambitious.
Yeah, and
that's the word you're looking for. Yeah.
Like just like the way they think about it, like they're very thorough.
Yeah.
In how they put things together.
I just wish me and Lizzie would have been a little bit less frazzled, and we would have caught you guys up on the story, because it was a story. There was a story behind it, and I like how they also made it to where it was like they were updating the fans who are up to date with the story on like where the story's going, but also not making it to where it was like whack for you and Mom, because you guys were just sitting there like, what? I'm so confused.
Yeah.
You guys kind of got the idea that there was something weird going on.
With those people,
and that was it.
Fucking, their face were all fucked up.
Yeah.
Even from that detail, like how it went from like them normal, and then slowly they got all fucked up, bloody eyes and bloody, and then bam, they went right back to being good.
Yeah.
Like, even the makeup people were on point.
Yeah, they were.
But you know what I wanted to say about that is it's gonna sound weird to you, but what they're doing is very nostalgic to me.
Yeah.
Because what they and I think I mentioned in the middle of the concert was I hope they make a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because Michael Jackson did something similar to that. Like he had this thing, and then he ended up making a short movie of like in a forest and shit, and like he had to save some kids, and like it was like a whole on movie. And I remember seeing it and thinking, oh my god, this is so cool, because I was a big Michael Jackson fan growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And like how they have the backstory, it's like really nostalgic. I'm like, man, I hope they put like a short film together with it. That'd be, or even a full movie. It seems like they have a lot of stuff to go with.
Yeah, they do. But I thought when you said the word nostalgic, I thought you were going to go with their sound, because I feel like this new album, they came out with something that was very, like, it made me feel nostalgic in different ways, though. Like, one song I could compare to, like, an older song, and then another one I could compare to an older song, but it's completely unrelated or not in the same genre as the other one.
But
it's
from the same band?
But same band. Like, 21 Pilots, like, they're... No, not, I meant, like, so, like, 21 Pilots, their new album that they came out with, Scaled and Icy, there was times where I was like, this sounds very nostalgic and old school. But, like, each song that I thought about that to were different types of old school.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it was like there was one song where I was like, damn, this is very, like, 80s. And then there's another song like, this is very 90s. And then I was like, damn, like, this is very, like, whatever. Like, I just felt like they went, like, super old school at times with the way they made this one sound. And I really liked it.
What's so cool about them is they do it with not only their beats, but the way they sing the song, too, and their lyrics.
Yeah.
Like, oh, man, they're just a great band. And if you don't know about 21 Pilots, like, I'll be honest, like, I first started listening to them because you and your sister liked them, and I just wanted to kind of, like, you know, and I grew to, like, really love them, man. Like, I was telling Lizzie that, like, there was this guy at work, and, you know, I try to interact with people so they, you know, feel comfortable around me.
Yeah.
And he had a 21 Pilots shirt on. So I walked up to him, and I'm like, hey, man, you like 21 Pilots? Like, that's cool. So do I. You know, what's your favorite song? And the dude couldn't name one.
Really?
And I'm like, and I genuinely got offended. I'm like, why are you wearing a shirt saying you're a fan and you don't even know a song, dude?
Yeah.
the next day he tries to come back and he tries to say, oh, this is a song I like, and it was a new quarantine one, one of the newer ones. And I'm like, dude, his name was Johnny. And I'm like, dude, what about Johnny Boy? Like, that's the name of, like, come on, man. You know, like, he's like, oh, yeah, I like that one, too. And I'm like, then why did you bring it up? You know, like, I was so bothered. Like,
that he didn't know.
That he didn't know, and he's wearing your shirt. And I'm like, I'm like part of the clique, man, you know?
Yeah, that's funny. That's really funny. Damn. I didn't even think about that. That, like, I don't know. It's kind of like not normal that you like a band like that. And I remember you were saying, like, you started liking them because I liked them. I started liking them because Lizzie liked them. Okay. And I used to shit on them. Because I used to be like, they're just another boy band. And then I listened to the lyrics, and I was like, damn, this is really deep, and I relate to this. Yeah. This is and then I started diving deep, and then I just listened to all their music, and I was like, this is the greatest band I've ever heard.
Yeah, they have a good message, man.
They do. I related to, like, all their stuff. I was like, this is the greatest band I've ever heard. Like, and then, and then they came out with this new album, and then this is the first album that I listened to, but I paid attention to the lyrics first. Usually when I listen to an album, I'll listen to the sound first and, like, bounce to it a little bit, and then I'll go into the lyrics of what the songs mean. But this time I found out what they meant first, and then I listened to the sound. So that's when I was telling you guys before the concert, like, I liked it better on the second go, like, listening to it over again than the first time. Like, I'm not going to say it grew on me, but, like, it's not that I did, because it's not like I didn't like it, but it was just like I wasn't really paying attention to the sound and, like, the production.
Well, you're like me, where you'll like something, you're like, hey, that's pretty dope, and you'll grab onto a few songs, and then you listen to the whole album again, and you're like, hey, but that one's pretty dope, and they start to, like you said, you get more into detail into it, and you're like, man, this album's pretty on point, you know?
Oh yeah,
it just takes a few times.
Yeah, and let me point out the obvious real quick before I forget. We're doing a one-camera setup this time in our loft. We were talking about doing this in the last episode, but my room wasn't big enough to do it. But we really want to do a one-camera setup, so, like, the quality is just not inconsistent. But
fucking makes me look fat though.
Yeah,
maybe I should try to flex or something. So I could maybe try to look big in it.
I'm a skinny person in real life. I look kind of husky in this little frame right here.
What do they say? Like, the camera adds 15 pounds or something like that in the movies?
I didn't. Really?
That's what they say. Like, that the camera on movies, like, for example, like Bruno Mars, like, he just looks like an average dude, but that dude's, like, fucking tiny. Like, he's like, I say tiny, but he's my height. Yeah. But the dude weighs, like, 135, and I weigh 200 pounds, so I'm, like, thinking, next to this guy, I probably look like a fucking beast. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I didn't even realize that, because he is a small guy.
Yeah, he's 5'5", like I am.
I didn't make a connection that, like, that he was, like, skinnier in some photos and then kind of, like, husky in, like, videos sometimes. I didn't even make that connection.
Yeah, I think the most unflattering one is they have him at, like, one of like a music awards show or something, and I think he's standing next to Taylor Swift or somebody like that. Oh my god! And the dude's, like, at her belly button, and you're just like, fuck, that fucking sucks, you know?
Yeah, because then you're like,
can I present by myself, or can you put someone short up here with me? You know?
Yeah, and then another thing I wanted to listen to, we also have a name. We're gonna rename all the episodes. It's gonna be Stuck in an Elevator. We came up with the name because in the very first episode at the end, we made a joke about an elevator and how I was going to play elevator music, and then the editing came together, and then we were in the kitchen like, we got to come up with a name, and then my dad was like, you made a joke about an elevator, why don't we base it off of that? And then we went with Stuck in an Elevator with Xander and Eric Vasquez, or Eric and Xander Vasquez. And I really like the name because, one, it came off of an inside joke, like you've mentioned, like you like that it came off of an inside joke. I agree with you. And then you also said that it kind of makes sense.
Too was when we were talking about it, we were about to watch the Dodger game, and a commercial popped up, and it was like a fucking elevator door.
Yeah.
And you looked, you're like, dude, that's a fucking sign.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. So because I'm, like, really big on, like, signs and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, if I see a sign, I kind of just go for it. And then also, too, you mentioned how it made sense that when you are in an elevator and then it gets stuck, and you're in there with somebody, you can't do anything but talk.
Yeah, you're fucking stuck, but just bullshitting with somebody.
Yeah, hey, so the name has a backstory, it has, like, a meaning, and it makes sense, and so we're going with Stuck in an Elevator. You should see a revamp. Make sure you subscribe so you stay up to date with us, and we're going to do a complete revamp. We're going to have a TikTok. It should be Stuck in the Elevator, at Stuck in the Elevator, and then at Stuck in the Elevator on Twitter, and then hopefully at Stuck in the Elevator on Instagram, hopefully, if those names aren't taken. So make sure you go to the description just in case I'm wrong and those names are taken. Make sure you go to the description. All of them will be listed down below.
Yeah, because you motherfuckers like went hard in the first episode, 160 views. In the second episode, we got 26 or some shit like that. I think it was like 60. Yeah. I'm exaggerating, but still.
Yeah. So the good thing is that the pilots usually take off first, like in TV, and like the pilots are always the ones that take off first, and then the second one is where the loyal fan base is at. That's more accurate to who's actually listening. So to whoever watched it, the second episode, I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you guys. I'm over here talking shit, and we should be thinking.
Yeah.
Hey, what were those stats you were saying too? Like you were reading some crazy fucking stats about the first video.
So there was one stat that said only 75% of people were not subscribed. So that's a lot of people that weren't subscribed. First off, so subscribe if you're watching this. And then there was another stat that was like 20% of people who are watching were not in the United States.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts.
That's nuts.
We're nationwide, bitches.
Yeah, right. So I don't know if it's like some people from Canada, some people from whatever, but that's a pretty cool stat. And then
especially because other countries, like I would assume a lot of them don't speak English, so to watch it,
Yeah. That too. So what else do we have to talk about? So we just want to update you guys all on that, but let's talk about WrestleMania Backlash. One, dog shit name.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it because I
why
feel
not
like
just Backlash?
Yeah, because I feel like you're trying to feed off a already great show.
Feed off of the WrestleMania name.
Yeah,
is what you're doing.
And that means you're gasping for air because you're drowning because you don't have anything, so you're trying to fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think adding WrestleMania in front of it just didn't make any sense to me. And like, it's not gonna hold any more value that it has a WrestleMania in the front of it. You know
literally
what I mean? In my
combined
opinion.
two of them. And don't they still have Backlash? Like the regular Backlash?
Do they? I don't even know.
Like that'd be dumb if you already have a WrestleMania, you already have a Backlash, now you have a WrestleMania Backlash. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, so the matches were pretty cool. Like the two main ones. My biggest problem was the way they ended. Like especially you called it right before every time.
Yeah.
Like there was no
excitement.
Oh shit or nothing.
No way.
Like you literally were like, this was gonna happen right now, and then boom, it happened, and he's gonna pin him. Man, that sucks. And it fucking was right on, dude. Like, where's the originality? I can't say that word. I said it right though.
Originality.
I can't say it again. I'm only saying it that one time.
And then also, I watched the Bayley versus Bianca Belair. That's when you went to go get food. But the Bayley versus Bianca Belair, that one ended in like a weak way too, because Belair like almost cheated to win. Oh. Like she used her long hair to like pin her, and she was like, she cheated. And I was like, God, this is so lame.
What I don't like is like they're trying to give Cesaro a push, but then you make him lose legitly, so then you pretty much just ended his push. Because you're pretty much saying that Roman's way better than him, and that's it. Roman Reigns, and that's it.
And another thing I was going to mention, too, while we were watching the match, but I just got sidetracked. I was eating, but it pissed me off because the weekend before, on the SmackDown before WrestleMania Backlash and Cesaro's Roman versus Cesaro, was they had Cesaro beat the shit out of Jimmy, Jay, and Roman. And so everybody was like, whoa, he was able to take advantage of all three of them. He was able to beat up all three of them. And then they went to jump to this match, and like most of the match, they're like, just Cesaro doesn't stand any chance. He's just getting the shit kicked out of him. I'm like, what?
Yeah, the announcing wasn't that great either.
Yeah, I liked Pat McAfee.
Yeah,
but
he did
there
good
just wasn't anything like to go off of. Because the match for the most part was just lame.
You know what the best part of it was? Paul Heyman's expression in the background.
Yeah.
Fucking hilarious.
Paul Heyman is so Paul Heyman is so animated, dude.
He's so funny, dude, and he just has this funny fat face, and it's just. But have you ever see those shows like on YouTube where he's like he's pretty much in front of a crowd and he's answering questions,
like a press conference, like a little Q&A,
and he's talking about what's going on and shit. Like, dude, that guy has such what's that word? Charisma. That guy has fucking charisma, man. And
you want to talk about mic skills? Like, that dude has one of the best one of his best traits is hyping something up.
Imagine if he was a wrestler, dude.
Yeah.
Maybe a weird fucking body. Call him like
Paul Heyman in a singlet.
Look like King Kong Bundy with hair with a ponytail.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, he would look just like King Kong Bundy.
Yeah,
which is not as muscular and big.
He does look like King Kong Bundy. But he's like really good at like hyping things up, like that one where he talked about Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
He was like, so what if Brock Lesnar decided, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna take it down the Undertaker.
Yeah.
And like when he was hyping that up, I was like, ooh.
You're like
You got me
watching
all
it,
hyped.
and you're like looking, and you're like, yeah. What if? Like, you know?
Yeah, he was like, what if Brock Lesnar made that decision that night? And what if nobody was going to stop him? I was like, oh, okay, Paul. Getting me all hyped up. But but that match was just, it was just so, like, underwhelming. Because, one, they made it seem like Cesaro was going to beat the shit out of him. And then, or, like, have a chance. And then, two, most of the match was, like, them laying on the floor, like, all hurt or whatever. And another thing that pissed me off, too, is Cesaro was really selling that his arm was hurt.
Yeah.
He was really selling it.
That's
like,
right.
He made it a vocal point to, like let everybody know that his arm was hurt, and that's why he was, like, losing. But when he was going after Roman's leg, Roman didn't, like...
He didn't sell it at all.
He didn't sell shit. Like, he went after his leg multiple times in the match, and then in the moment he was selling it, and then he would get up walking completely normal, like, seconds later.
You know, low-key, I kind of feel like he did hurt his arm. When he did that one where he put it on the side turnbuckle and he pulled it, like, after that, he had these scratches really bad on the inside of the arm, and then he kept on getting random blood spots.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like, even if it was just a scratch, like, the shit fucking hurt.
I'm going to pull a Paul Heyman. What if he really did, like, maybe, like, pull his arm out of his socket, and that was, like, Roman, like, putting it back in?
You know, that could have been. And you know what? There was a few times, too, that Cesaro, like, when Roman would do something, it looked like he was pissed. Like, hey, man, like, fucking relax. Like, I'm hurt. Like, he was actually, like, I don't know. It just seemed like it was real. But, like, to your point, he could have just been selling it really well.
Yeah. I really love Cesaro. Like, he's a good wrestler. Like, he's good on the mic. He doesn't, like, he's not, like, as corny as everybody else. Maybe sometimes, but, like, he just, like, he's got good mic skills. He could be a good wrestler. He's, like, a bigger guy, so it wasn't, like, no chance that he was being, like, able to stand up against Roman because they were, like, almost, like, the same size. But
they make it a point, too, that he's one of the strongest guys in the locker room.
And then I think even Undertaker said it, like, no, that's real. Like, he's one of the strongest human beings I've ever met.
And it's very well known.
Yeah, super well known. Like, one of his best moments was at WrestleMania, I think. It was a Battle Royale, and he body slammed Big Show over the ropes. He picked him up and then threw him over the ropes. And everybody was like, oh, shit, he picked up the Big Show. But, like, he's known for being, like, a strong guy. And he's a good wrestler. Like, he beat Seth Rollins fair and square at WrestleMania, but then they put him up against Roman, and you say they set up Cesaro for failure, but I think I'd go a step further and say they set up the whole division for failure.
Yeah.
Because the fact that Cesaro was able to beat Seth Rollins, who was probably, like, the only other guy I could see putting up a good match against Rollins.
Seth Rollins is the modern-day Shawn Michaels.
Hell yeah, he is.
Showstopper, dude. You know?
Yep.
He puts on great shows.
Yep. I think who do they call Mr. Money in the Bank? I think they call Seth Rollins Mr. Money in the Bank.
Yeah, it might
because he wins most of the Money in the Bank matches. See, you have a good character in Seth Rollins, one of the best wrestlers, one of my favorites. His character nowadays is kind of dog shit, but he's a great wrestler. He has one of the dopest theme songs. Burn it down. You get everybody all hyped up. You know, he's a good wrestler, and they had Cesaro beat him fair and square, like in one of the best matches of the night on WrestleMania. And then so you're like, okay, so that means like the only guy who could beat Roman is Cesaro because, I mean, before Cesaro beat Seth Rollins, I would have thought that Seth Rollins would be the only one. So who's gonna beat Roman now?
Yeah, I don't even know who's up next.
So like it makes me think like who's up next?
Is
so
it
like
promotion versus promotion maybe?
Yeah, promotion versus promotion, or they do maybe someone who's injured that everybody forgot about comes out of
Who do we got?
I know Aleister Black was hurt, and he was like a big time wrestler in NXT. Keith Lee, he was one of the big guy. Yup, we seen a spark of how good Roman versus Keith Lee could be at Survivor Series, because they did the SmackDown versus Raw versus NXT like elimination match. Oh yeah, it was the 5-on-5-on-5, and it came down to Keith Lee and Roman. And they put on like a good 2-minute just
going for it.
Yeah, 2-minute just 5-star where they were just like like Keith Lee with the body slam 1, 2, no. And then they had one of those moments where it was just lit for 2 minutes where Keith Lee versus Roman were just beating the shit out of each other, and then Roman ended up spearing him and winning. But it was so lit. So maybe they brought him up from NXT, and he was the NXT like North American champ, and he was like, I think he was even the NXT North American champ and the NXT World Champion at the same time. He held both the belts. Like, he was a dope wrestler in NXT, and then even we've seen sparks of him like being like a dope big man, like probably the most athletic big man in WWE.
How's his mic skills?
His mic skills are pretty cool, or pretty good, I would say. Like, he's good at
You don't seem confident.
He's got like I don't know, because sometimes he could be a little corny, and I mean it in the sense of like he has like his thing is like bask in my glory, where sometimes his voice will be a little bit too like douchey for me, where he'll be like, bask in my glory, and you're just kind of like, okay, dude, calm down, you know. But but his mic skills are really good, but there's just sometimes where it's just like, okay, you're doing a little too much. But his wrestling, his matches are what makes him a good wrestler.
From the few I've seen, yeah.
Dude, he does somersaults.
Especially for a big guy.
Yeah, he's like 400 pounds doing somersaults and shit, doing like backflips, and he's so good. And then he got brought up after being like the North American champ, and I think he was the double champ. And then they brought him up, and then he didn't do jack shit in the main roster. Like, they ruined his character too, where you could tell they got a little ahead of themselves and didn't know what to do with him.
They ruined Finn Balor.
Yeah, so
still mad about that shit.
So maybe Keith Lee comes back.
That'd be cool. Oh, yeah. Fucking lost that.
Yeah, so maybe Keith Lee comes back.
What about the other main event?
The Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre versus Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
So that was like you said, I predicted it. I literally was like, okay, here comes Bobby Lashley. He's gonna come in here and he's gonna do his move, and then he's gonna pin him. Watch, and then he did exactly that. So it's predictable.
Ruined it.
Huh?
MVP ruined it.
Yeah.
Because I was able to see it too.
Yeah, because you even said, you were like, yeah, I even noticed that MVP was ringside, and he was like not ringside before.
You could see him in the background when they threw Bobby Lashley to the thing and they had all the sparks, which was a cool scene. That was a cool part.
That was so cool. The match was good.
Yeah, the match was good.
The ending was so predictable.
But like when Braun and I'm drawing a fucking blank right now.
Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre were going for it in the ring. You could see MVP in the background still standing by where the sparks were, just standing there, like for a while. And then all of a sudden, MVP's back at the ring, and you just kind of know, like,
Bobby Lashley's coming.
Bobby Lashley's back.
Yeah.
And then right when you fucking see him out of the side of the camera view because they didn't have fans again, boom, spear, and then you just seen it, and it was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And yeah, that match was super predictable. And then so where they're going with that storyline, I don't even know what they're doing with Roman. Today was SmackDown, so they updated the Roman storyline. I don't know where that's going. I didn't watch it today. I'm gonna watch the highlights after this, but so I don't know what who's gonna challenge Roman. I don't know what the deal with that is. But with the Bobby Lashley thing, they're doing Kofi Kingston versus Bobby Lashley.
Oh, that's right. You did tell me that. I like
Kofi.
Kofi.
I like Kofi too. So like they're doing like this underdog David versus Goliath thing. He had help from Drew McIntyre to pin Bobby Lashley, but he still pinned Bobby Lashley.
I think if they're smart with it, they can make Kofi the new Rey Mysterio.
Hell yeah, like the underdog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
High flyer, quick,
or like
can take the big guys out.
Yeah, like Daniel Bryan maybe, because Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania he beat Triple H, Randy Orton, and Batista in the same night. Yeah. He had to beat Triple H to get to the triple threat with Randy and Batista to win the titles.
Daniel Bryan's a great wrestler. I just feel like he's real vanilla. Just
you think so?
Trunks, shoes. That's it. You know what I mean? Mysterio's got his mask and everything. Kofi's got all the colors.
You mean his
and
looks?
The flash. Yeah, he's just really vanilla.
He originally had like the long hair and beard, and then he shaved most of it, trimmed down the beard and trimmed down the hair, and then he didn't really have like a signature thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like Kofi has like, you know, he's got pizzazz, and
yeah,
Mysterio has the whole Mexican luchador background and stuff, and I kind of feel like they're both more high flyers than Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan does some crazy shit too.
Yeah,
but there's more pizzazz to them too. I really like them. I'm glad to see Daniel Bryan back though, him and Edge, because like it sucks to have your career cut short because of an injury.
Yeah,
and at the top of your game, even more for Daniel Bryan because he was in his prime when it happened. Like Edge was, he had a great career already when he had to get pushed out, but Daniel Bryan was just getting started, and you have to wonder how much that derailed him now. Like he's trying to play catch up from all that time lost.
Well, we still don't know where Daniel Bryan's going.
Yeah.
Because his contract expired. We don't know if he's going to NXT. We don't know if he's going to AEW. You know who's at AEW? Christian.
Again?
Yeah. No, he's been he just got there. He Christian. Edge and Christian. He's there.
Yeah, because
he's doing matches and stuff too. He's like active.
And then they did the Royal Rumble where he had that thing, and we're like, oh shit, he's back in the Royal Rumble, and now he's out.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, the one Edge won.
I didn't know he was with AEW before that.
Well, I don't know about that.
Oh.
But, I thought he was. But the fact that he came into the Royal Rumble, I thought that was like,
Oh,
he's
like
back.
he was there? Yeah.
Yeah, it
I don't know
like
what
a one
did
match
happen.
deal.
Yeah, I guess it was.
Imagine,
that's a good point.
Imagine like, hey, here's $500,000. Just go in the Royal Rumble. You know,
yeah.
one match. You know,
just have your moment with Edge.
Yeah, everybody go, we'll see how the crowd reacts to you. If it's not that much, we're not gonna sign you again. You know.
Yeah.
That's probably what happened.
It kind of sucks that they did all that with Edge, made it all cool, and then he loses at WrestleMania against Daniel Bryan and Roman. Roman wins the match, and then you don't hear from him again.
Yeah, so that's another thing. Is he done?
I don't know. I hope
he did
not.
Look old, but he was doing good, man.
I hope he has his one-on-one dream match with Roman, because I don't think he did have a one-on-one with Roman.
I don't think so.
No. And that was like everybody's dream match too, which I think makes that so much cooler, because before Edge made his return at Royal Rumble, everybody was like, dream match, Roman versus Edge, the guy who spears people against the guy who spears people, like, you know, like that's a dream match. Like they were like the same.
Yeah.
Not the same. Edge is so much better.
Yeah, I think so too.
Edge is one of the greats, all-time greats. Roman's not even close. Not yet, in my opinion.
No, he's got some time.
I heard, so another cool thing, I was listening to Roman talk about his decision to turn heel, because he was like on this interview that was like where he didn't play his character. He was just being whatever his real name is. Like he was just being himself, and they were asking him like, oh, what was the decision like to turn heel? He was like, originally I wanted to be the one who betrayed the Shield, not Seth.
Oh,
I
really?
wanted to be the one who turned bad. I wanted Seth and Dean to stay babyface. I wanted them to stay like the good guys. I originally wanted to turn heel, which made me think like, how cool would that have been had Seth Rollins not betrayed him when it was Roman? Or like how much would have changed? Because Seth Rollins became bad guy and he became an annoying piece of shit. You know, started curb stomping people, being a cheater, having managers to come help him all the time. He was just annoying. He was an asshole. And then at WrestleMania, it was like Brock Lesnar versus like a couple of people, and he won the Money in the Bank and came in and cashed it in at WrestleMania and had his WrestleMania moment where he won the title. Like how much would that have changed? Would he have done that? Would that, like, how much would Seth Rollins still be Seth frickin' Rollins had he not been the one who turned bad and turned on the Shield?
I think it's better because Seth Rollins has more, I said it earlier, charisma.
I know. I think it was better too, but it was just something to think about.
Yeah, definitely. But maybe the creators or the story writers knew, like, you know, we're trying to push Roman, but he just doesn't have that.
And I want to give Roman some love because he has gotten better with his mic skills and his character work. But back in the day, the reason why I 100,000,000% think it would have not turned out well if he had been the one who turned heel was because he was dog shit on the mic.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins was, I mean, obviously he turned heel and then he became like one of the best guys on the mic, one of the most charismatic, like he said. But like Roman, when he had his like feud with John Cena, like John Cena was even making fun of him. Like, if you want to cut a promo, kid, this is your time. Like, if you want to become the best, you got to be able to cut a promo. Like, humiliating him in front of an entire arena.
Straight putting the business out there. And
yeah, because he couldn't come up with shit because he was horrible on the mic.
Isn't it crazy how we were like so close to them when we went to that show?
Oh yeah, so we went to SmackDown in like 2016, 2017, I think, February. It's 2016 or 2017, and
they had the pre-show that we watched before the main one started.
And then you said, let's go get some drinks and our food now. This will be our only time to do it. And I was like, okay, I'm down. And then we went back and we got our drinks.
And we had great seats right in the aisle.
Yeah, right in the aisle. And then we came back and we were like, what the hell? Because the security was like covering. They're like, you can't go. And we were like, why? Why not? They're like, you just can't go. They wouldn't give us a reason.
Pissed. I was arguing with them. I was like, dude, the show's about to fucking start, man. I want to get to my seats to watch the show.
And I think I was the one who said, Dad, look. And you look over, and it's the Shield.
Yeah,
Dean
right there,
Ambrose,
dude.
Seth Rollins, and Roman.
Right this close, dude.
But that dickhead Seth Rollins was pouring water on his hair to get it like all wet and shit. And it made us wait even longer. We couldn't even see the walkout. Because, one, they were right there getting ready, and we were like, oh, my God, it's the Shield. I didn't know it's so big in person. We were getting all excited. And then when they went, and then they do their walkout out of the crowd, and then we were like, oh, all right, let's go get our seats. And they're like, nope, we got to wait. And then the piece of shit janitors came and started mopping, and we're like,
Slow as fuck,
my
dude.
God.
Slow as fuck. Like, nobody's, just fucking mopping it up. Like, can you hurry the fuck up?
Yeah, I remember we came in like 30 seconds into the match. Like they were already wrestling by the time we got to our seats. We're like, oh shit.
They would have passed right by our seats, and we could have been like the rest of the fans hitting them on the shoulders and
yeah.
shit. And we missed all that. Like, it was cool to be that face to face with them.
But we could have been like, even more face to face. We would have been more face to face. We probably would have had a moment with them where they would have looked at us or something. I don't know, but
fuck,
God,
the what if, like we're talking about, like the what if,
yeah,
you know?
we had not went to go get fucking popcorn.
Like, we got pretzels.
Pretzels
and
worth
drinks.
It. I love pretzels.
Yeah,
probably
the
one of my favorite foods.
Delicious.
I think pretzels are probably my favorite food on the planet.
It's a weird fucking conversation to go. Yeah,
anyways,
I got a fucking pizza and a pretzel. There's too much salt in that pretzel.
So, anyways, so yeah, they're doing this thing with Kofi and Bobby Lashley. I hope they're doing like this underdog thing. And then another cool thing I want to touch on before we stop talking about WWE, because I want to switch it up. What do you think about? I think it's cool. I'll present the idea, but I want to get your thoughts on the first father and son world champions, Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio becoming tag team champs.
So when you were starting to talk, I was going to tell you whatever you said. I was going to say, hey, but I do want to talk about Mysterio and Dominic.
Yeah,
so it was perfect that you brought that up.
Yeah.
So I think it's really fucking cool because I was just reading an article. The daughter was interviewed, and she was saying that when Rey first found out that Dominic wanted to get into wrestling, the first thing he said is, our goal is to win titles together. So they
cool.
literally accomplished their goal that they first set out to. So you could only imagine the emotion in that moment. It makes you appreciate it more.
Yeah.
You know, like I love that they share the 619. I love the whole little insider with the frog splash for Dominic because, you know, Eddie Guerrero and I'm your papi, the whole skit back then, you know.
Yeah,
like
tribute.
They play that shit so well. And she also said in that interview that originally Dominic was supposed to wear a mask like his dad.
Really?
Nobody was supposed to know what he looked like. But like everything happened so fast that it just started moving. They kind of like fucking forgot. They kind of just like, oh, we're already in it. Like we're just going already.
I can't see Dominic with the mask anyway.
Yeah, but you know what? If he would have came in with the mask, we would have been saying the same thing. Like, oh, I can't see him without the mask.
That's
you know?
fair.
Like
That's
we
fair.
don't. I know what Rey Mysterio looks like without the mask because there was a stint when he was in WCW for years where he didn't have the mask because he lost it in a mask match with I think Juventud Guerrero.
Mm-hmm.
Ripped it off, and then he was just that babyface guy wearing overalls, brushing his hair forward and shit for like a couple of years, and then he went back to the mask. But like, imagine you don't know. Like we would be like, oh, I can imagine him without his mask. It's like that whole the thing where Mexican wrestlers, the luchadors, don't ever take their mask off. You know?
Yeah.
I think it's great though.
I think it's
your
great.
Question.
Yeah, I think it's great too. I'm super excited about it. But I was telling you, or you were telling me, you were like, you know, Ray is one of the longest lasting wrestlers, right? Like he's been in for. Excuse me, but you were saying, thank you, and you were saying like he's one of the longest lasting wrestlers. He's been in it for years.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I didn't really think about it. Like he's been in there since before everybody else. Like he's kind of been there for a long time. And he's getting older, and I was thinking, I was like, there's nothing really outside of Dominic being a really good wrestler. Like he's in the ring, like he puts on good matches, but other than that, there's nothing cool about him. Like his mic skills aren't that great. You know, his voice is very kind of like high pitched, like his dad. So he doesn't really have like something anything like cool about him. So I was thinking, I was like, the only way they make if Ray wants to retire or he has to hang it up one day, like the only way Dominic could go on in this business is if he turns heel against his dad.
Yeah, that'd be a great storyline. But I think they need to wait on it. Like
they're gonna wait on it.
I want them to really embrace this tag team thing. Like if they go on the very first fucking show they lose the belts, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah,
they ruined it. Like they got to put some good competition in front of them, some good storylines. I don't know if they bring the daughter back and all that drama or what they do, but they got to feed into it. They just can't have them put on good matches, no storyline. That's part of wrestling is that storyline. You know, the soap opera part of it. So I think they got to carry it on, and then definitely the end point has to be a heel turn.
Yeah, I think that'd be so cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Eddie was always better than you, Dad. You know, like something like that, where you're like, oh, you know, that I think it'll help. I think turning heel helps people with their mic skills. Yeah, or they don't have to hold back on what they say.
Yeah,
a lot of the time I feel
for
like.
sure. And I think that's like the perfect way, like you're saying, is they go that route. Maybe like, you know, coming up, you never showed me anything. Only Eddie did. That's why the frog splash is my finisher. You know, you didn't give me any attention, and now you want to be there. Now you're trying to steal my limelight of being a champ, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fight through it that way.
You're holding me back. You're getting old.
Yep.
You know, like shit like that. See, I think that's the only way Dominic could make it in the business when his dad retires, is if he turns into a bad guy.
I always
and establishes himself as like someone who should be taken serious.
Yeah.
Because his dad cuts all the promos for him in the tag team.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
Like Dominic will get his couple of words in, like, I agree with you, Dad, and I think we'll just put on a show, and I think we'll win the tag team titles like we always planned. You know, he'd just say like a couple of words where he doesn't have to do much.
Yeah.
Which there's nothing wrong with that, but
eventually, if he wants, like you said, if he wants to go on, he has to. He can't. His dad's not always gonna be there unless he becomes his fucking manager.
Yeah.
You know, but there's no real intrigue to that. I think the turning heel is where the intrigue comes.
Yeah, me too.
For sure.
I agree.
I always thought it'd be a cool fucking job to be a storyteller for WWE, like writing the storylines.
Another cool thing too, they make him a bad guy. They make him wrestle just like Eddie, dirty as shit.
Yeah.
So then you put him in title pictures.
Oh God, that's right. That'd be great.
Where he just cheats his way to the top.
Yeah.
You know, and he really takes on the Eddie Guerrero like mantle.
Persona.
Yeah, like the little persona. I think that would be cool.
God, that'd be great. That's a good idea.
Because you can make comparisons to a lot of wrestlers nowadays to like old school wrestlers, but like there's not one that's been like that's like Eddie Guerrero. That's like Eddie Guerrero. Because Eddie used to cheat. He used to have he used to be smart. He used to outsmart everybody.
Yep.
I think Eddie was like one of my favorite wrestlers.
He would not only outsmart you, but he'd do it in a funny way where you'd crack up.
Yeah.
And how he'd play it.
He'd like
he'd come in with the chair. Yeah, and he'd fall down and be like,
what? You're there. Oh. You know, that he was great.
R.A.P. Eddie, man.
Yeah, I imagine had he not died, what WWE would be like. Maybe he comes back.
You know, it's crazy how they talk. We were talking about the butterfly effect the other day. Like, would Chris Benoit have his drama of like, you know, like I know nobody likes talking about that. That's it's like an untold thing. You don't talk about that, but like, would that have changed that? Imagine still having Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit. Chris Benoit was a fucking dope wrestler, dude.
Dope wrestler, the coolest theme song.
Yes, like nobody even listens to that shit now. Like, but imagine like that's that butterfly effect,
so good,
dude.
Man.
Yeah. What if? You never know, you know. Like the same thing we were talking about with the Joker. Like if Heath Ledger didn't die, how that would have went on.
The
how
DC
Justice
Universe
League
might have been,
would have been so much different, man.
Yeah.
Imagine.
I don't think he said this, but I have a feeling that Christian Bale bailed from Batman because of Heath Ledger's death.
No pun intended. Christian Bale bailed.
Yeah, and then we even talked about Brandon Lee. Did you hear that thing? So you know that new Marvel movie Shang-Chi?
Yeah.
They said Stan Lee. There was like reports that Stan Lee had originally went to Brandon Lee to play Shang-Chi.
Really?
Because Shang-Chi was based off of Bruce Lee.
Oh my god.
They based his character off of Bruce Lee.
Man.
How cool would that have been had Bruce Lee?
That'd been fucking dope,
dude. Character that was created like after in a mirror of like Bruce Lee was played by his son Brandon Lee. He originally went to Brandon Lee to play Shang-Chi, who was like based off of Bruce Lee. Imagine had Brandon Lee not died in that tragedy, how much more different Marvel would have been. Because I think Shang-Chi would have came out sooner.
Yep.
Because I think he went to Brandon Lee when like the MCU was starting to kick off.
Yeah, Brandon Lee's been gone for a long time.
Yeah.
I think he died like in the 90s or something like that.
Yeah.
Like it was a long time ago. Man, that's such crazy shit to think about, huh?
Yeah. Let's not get sad. I mean, we're going to kind of stay on the topic of sadness with this next topic. I hate to bring the mood down, but what do you think the record is going to be for the Raiders next year?
Oh,
So, I was telling my friend, with or without Derek Carr, I think we're looking at a playoff berth. If you look at our playoffs, there is nobody special that we're playing. There's not really anybody. We play the Chiefs twice, the Browns once, and like the Chargers twice. And then everybody else is like dog shit, nothing special.
There's always that team that we say that, and then they end up having a great run, and they start by whipping our ass.
But when I do the math in my head, so we're I predicted a 12-5 or a 11-6 season. Realistically, that's like me being honest, like on paper, what should happen. But what you're saying is maybe a team pulls an upset on us. But in that scenario, which is probably going to happen, we're also going to pull upsets on somebody else.
Maybe we're the
So
team
it'll
that
probably
wakes up.
even out, you know?
Yeah. I say 9-8.
9-8? You think so?
Yeah.
That's probably what's going to happen.
But
I just can't see it with our defense now. I feel like our defense is going to get so much better. And we were able to go like 9-8 or 8-8 because they added more games, so it would be like
one more
8-8 last year.
Yeah.
But
every year when I think we're gonna do great, I'm like fucking pumped. Like, oh my god, like we got this person, we got this, everything's going great. We fucking do what we do and we suck ass. But this is the first year where I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't think we're gonna do that great. So maybe it's that one where we do that turnaround. Like you said, Gus Bradley's there, and then we have a strong defense, and
everybody's sleeping on our defense really bad.
I prefer it that way. Let them sleep on us so we could fucking dominate.
Yeah, just toss them around. Our D line looks good. Our corners look good.
I get to
our
meet Max Crosby tomorrow.
Oh yeah, that's tomorrow, huh?
Yeah.
Been thinking about what you're gonna say?
I don't know. I'm gonna have him sign my jersey. I may have him sign my cup too, and then have Mom put another layer of resin over it, so I actually have a cup, an actual signed cup by him that I could drink out of.
Cool.
I thought that'd be kind of cool.
So like you could wash it and not wash that off.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
And, I think what I was thinking about telling him is like, hey man, I got you at 15 sacks this year. What do you think? And see what he says.
Yeah.
You know.
So then he goes in there. He's like, yeah, I'll put up 15 sacks.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
That'd be 15 sacks. I think he could do it.
That's like almost won a game.
Yeah.
He could do it with the defense. I think what I'm worried about this year is in the past I haven't been is the offense, because I don't know if Brown can really fill Nelly's shoes because he's injury prone. Mm-hmm. But if Brian Edwards steps up like everybody says he is, and he starts the opposite side of Ruggs, you know, because I really like Brian Edwards, dude.
Me too.
I think he's dope.
He's a beast. He's super strong.
Yeah, and then we got Waller, and then I think last year Moreau was held back by the fact that we had Witten, and we were forced to put him in there because he's a legend. And Morrow's obviously a better guy. Like, Morrow had a great year the year before, man. He led the tight ends in touchdowns, even over Waller. Because he was our red zone threat. Like, because how big he is and strong.
Great hands, yeah.
So, I think he's going to have a breakout year, Foster Moreau. Like, everybody keeps on saying Damon Arnett, comeback player. I think it's going to be Foster Moreau. Watch. Foster Moreau's going to have a great fucking year because everybody's going to be all over Waller. Because Waller's not a secret no more. No. The dude's one of the top 3 best tight ends in all NFL. They're going to put their best guy on him.
And I'd argue everybody in our schedule is preparing for Waller.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
I think in the offseason right now, most teams are paying attention to Travis Kelce and Darren Waller.
For sure.
That's most of the people are trying to shut those two down.
And Kittle, if he comes back from his injury well.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I think we can make a playoff run. The chance of it happening are 50-50. If our defense is nasty, we'll make the playoffs. We just need Derek Carr to play average, like he has been for years. If he could just play average and our defense is nasty and he just puts up 25, 20, 30 points a game, we'll be fine.
You think Josh Jacobs is going to finally have that breakout year?
And that too, Drake and Josh. You know, Kenyon Drake is a beast. One of my, you know.
Might change a pace back.
Yeah, he'll take the pressure off of Josh for sure. And then, yeah, I think Josh is going to come back this year. And then Renfro, Carr just needs to play average.
That's true. I think what I'm trying to do this year is I'm just trying to not get
undersell
my hopes up. Undersell it, not get my hopes up because I get even more pissed. You see how I am? Like, after we lose a game, dude, like, Mom always says, I hate the early games because the rest of my day's fucked.
Oh, yeah.
I'm in a shitty mood the rest of the fucking day. So I like the 1 o'clock games or the primetime games because after that I can go to sleep and just fucking get over it.
We have
but if it's a 10 o'clock game, I'm fucking pissed all day, dude.
Yeah, me too. We have most of the prime. I think we have one of the most primetime games too. I think we have like 4, which is exciting.
It's because of that stadium, dude. That stadium's fucking beautiful, man.
Yeah. Hell
fucking
yeah.
Great stadium, dude. Like, I love how everything's black. The black seats, black everything, dude. Like, I think they should do like some of those college teams where, like, maybe only for the primetime games, you have the black field instead of black green grass.
Hell,
you have black grass,
dope.
dude, or silver grass or something crazy like that.
That'd be kind of dope. Yeah. But speaking of Allegiant Stadium, Wilder versus Fury number 3. Wilder bitched his way into a rematch, even though he got his shit rocked got his shit kicked in for both arguably both fights, and then the knockdown in the first fight saved him and made it a draw.
Yeah.
But arguably, Fury beat the shit out of him in both fights.
Yeah, like that. I'm only gonna watch it to watch Fury beat the fuck out of him again.
Yeah,
just
me
because
too.
he's being a dick.
Yeah, me too. It sucks for Fury, who has nothing to prove against Wilder, and he just wants to, like solidify that he's the best and one of the greatest boxers ever at his weight class, and he wants to fight Anthony Joshua.
Yeah,
he was gonna put on a classic with Joshua, in my opinion, because Joshua's a better boxer than Wilder. But the only reason why people were saying that Wilder was gonna beat Joshua was because the knockout power, that one punch, like shocking knockout power, and I think Wilder could beat Joshua, but I just don't think like Joshua really wants that fight.
He's got head shit like Rose, like where he gets in his head and he gets like panic attack and shit.
Yeah, but he's just more of a bitch.
They were saying too, like the dad was saying that his son wasn't in it before the Ruiz fight, and the dad tried to cancel the fight like minutes before they walked out.
Which dad?
Anthony Joshua's.
Oh, Anthony Joshua's, really?
Yeah, like his son was having a fucking one of his panic attacks, his mental things, and he was telling the manager like, no, we got to cancel the fight, and they're like, we're fucking here, like we're gonna walk out right now, like we can't cancel the fight, like you don't understand the financial implications of canceling this fucking fight. And he's like, my son's not in it right now, he can't, and he went out there and got fucking knocked out by Ruiz.
Oh, you're Ruiz. I thought you said Reese.
No, Ruiz.
Ruiz, yeah.
How true that is, it sounds like, you know, a dad making an excuse for his son, you know what I mean? Because the next fight, Joshua did go in there and fucking work Ruiz, but Ruiz has always
ran like
been
a bitch, jabbed and ran.
Yeah, and Ruiz was not in the shape he is now. Like he's training with Canelo, so he's a different beast in himself too. But you know what I was gonna say about the Wilder Fury one? What worries me is boxing has always been a very corrupt sport.
Yeah,
it's been known for being corrupt.
Yep.
So to keep the money coming in, they fix fights. So who's to say this fight goes the distance and they make Wilder win so they can have another fight to have more money fights? Because let's be honest, if Wilder loses again, he's fucking done, dude. Like 3 straight losses to Fury, like his career's done. So it's kind of like the same thing with Conor. Like Conor can't afford to lose to Poirier again.
No.
Because he's going to lose those money fights. So like that's my biggest worry is the corrupt part of boxing. Do they fucking steal it from Fury? Do they pay Fury enough money to take a dive? I don't know, but boxing's like that.
I can't see Fury taking that.
Yeah, because he's a true natural fucking fighter. Like he believes in that shit, like the Diaz brothers. That's why he's training with those fucking crazy fuckers.
Yeah, I agree.
But if they may tell Wilder, just get to the distance and we'll make the judges. We'll take care of it with the judges.
Yeah. So if you're saying Fury has to knock him.
He has to knock him the fuck out again.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the only thing that worries me is boxing so fucking corrupt. Man.
Yeah, because if it's close enough, they'll give it to Wilder.
Yep.
I agree.
Like you said, he got one knockdown in the last where, like, fucking, let's be honest, Fury was out. But he fucking busted the Undertaker and he fucking sat up but he won all the other previous rounds. That should have still been Fury. The way boxing is judged, that should have still been Fury's fight. It shouldn't have been a draw because of one knockdown.
Yeah.
It's not the way that shit works. Even if it was a 10-8 round, it doesn't work that way. Yeah. So the judges could have helped him on the first one.
God, I'm so mad we're not going to see Joshua versus Fury until next year because of Wilder bitching. That sucks. We were supposed to see Fury versus Joshua in August.
If I was Joshua, I'd bitch and I'd say, listen, because of what you're doing, you're costing me financial distress. Because I was gonna sell so much, I was gonna make so much off of this fight. I was gonna get pay-per-view buys, whatever the fuck it was. I'm gonna sue you guys for canceling and fucking up my fight because you're messing up my financial.
I guarantee
business.
He should, and especially with like the training, the time he's putting in to like prepare for that fight, he should, but I don't think he will.
Yeah,
I think he's a bitch. I think he's scared to fight Fury. So
I
think he more than like it's a possibility that he was just like, whew, God, can't wait to sit my feet up and watch that fight.
Yeah,
you know,
he could have gotten something. They may have been like, here's $500,000, dude, because boxing is a fucking $1 million industry. Here's $500,000. Our bad. There's just fucking sit back, keep training. We're gonna give you more time because you fucking need it to even beat either of these guys.
I hope they say like, all right, sorry, Joshua, we interrupted your fight. Now you got to fight Ruiz, so you have a fight.
Would that
so
be
you're
a
not
trilogy?
You're not training. It would be the trilogy. It would be the third fight.
Why not do 2 trilogies, dude?
I don't know.
Imagine on the
They
undercard.
Joshua versus Ruiz. Hell yeah.
And then we could do like some WWE shit, and like whoever wins the other fucking fight, have Joshua or Ruiz walk in there talking shit like, I want my fucking belt,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah. That would be. I think that's what they do. Ruiz versus Joshua number 3.
Why not, dude? Like, prove that shit wasn't a fluke. That first knockout wasn't a fluke. Prove that you didn't get lucky the second fight by beating him. You know, they both got something to prove.
Yeah.
You know?
I think Ruiz was going to win the first fight no matter what, but I think he was called early. I think he was going to knock him down after anyway, but when he knocked him down, Joshua got up and was like smiling, and the ref called it, and he was like, what? And then I think they did call it early, but I think after that, had he like let him continue, I think Ruiz would have knocked him out anyway.
Yeah, he was fucking dizzy.
Yeah, he was getting his shit rocked too. He was getting hit hard.
I guess it depends on how much time was left in the round. Like, if there was 10 seconds, he might have been able to regroup it in the corner. But if there was still 2 minutes left, like, he's fucking done.
Yeah, he would have lost. And in my eyes, he would have lost anyway. And then in the second fight, Joshua just jabbed and ran because he was afraid to get hit. Yeah. Because he took advantage of his reach and height difference.
Played smart.
Yeah.
He did a smart fight.
Yeah, which is whack. I hate when people do that.
You want me to throw out the next topic?
Yeah.
So what do you think about the fact that since we signed Albert Pujols, the Dodgers are 8-1?
Hell yeah. He hit a bomb yesterday too.
Yep.
Yeah, so I everybody was like mad about Pujols, and I don't get it.
Everybody was like,
he's only gonna make our team better.
What do you have left? The guy's old. Da, da, da. Dude, that knowledge, you see him in Gavin Lux's ear. When Buehler was kind of losing his shit, there was an article where he got in Buehler's ear in one of the innings and was like talking about something, and Buehler went out there and just like boom, 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 three out inning.
And it showed him talking to Will Smith.
Yeah, like he's bringing something that we have a very young squad, dude. I think our oldest guy is Mookie Betts, and Mookie Betts is still young himself.
Yeah, he's like
Kershaw's probably the oldest, but he's a pitcher. Like from a bat wise, from an offensive side, we need that that expertise, and he's doing fucking great. Got RBIs, the fucking home run.
Yeah, he hit a bomb.
He's putting the spark in the fans.
Yep.
Like I like
he gets a standing O every time he walks out. He's only gonna make this team better too.
Yeah.
The only one I'm kind of like about is Yoshi Susugo. Because he hasn't done jack shit, and he granted he has been walked a lot since being with us. Like he's been walked like 6 times, I think.
Oh, I'll fucking take that, dude. As long as
good
our
eye,
guys
get on
bring
base,
him in.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
And then that too is because we can't fucking stay healthy, dude. The injury bug is still in that fucking dugout.
Yeah, and then Chris Taylor's been a beast.
Yep.
Max Muncy's been a beast.
Gavin's
been an animal.
Turner needs to wake the fuck up.
Yeah. He started off the year great though.
Yeah.
Because you were like, oh, he's the RBI leader, and then after that, did jack shit.
The whole team, though, kind of did, so he's just trying to catch up, I guess.
Yeah, he had, like, the best batting average, and now he's got, like, not one of the worst, but he's still up there, like, a .3 something, but, like, it wasn't as high as it was to begin the year.
And it might be good. We just might be overly critical because we know how good Big Red is.
Yeah, Turner's a beast, man.
Yeah.
I love Turner.
And who'd you say went to AAA? Somebody
went to AAA. They sent 2 guys to AAA to warm up to get ready to come back into the pros. It was
Cody Bellinger
and McKinstry.
McKinstry, yeah.
Yeah, they're in AAA right now, getting back in shape.
That's fucking crazy because I didn't even know McKinstry was also hit by the injury bug.
Yeah, I didn't know either, and he was kicking ass. And I was like, what happened to him? And I was like, oh, he got hurt. Wow, that sucks. But when Zach and Cody come back, oh, our team's gonna be so deadly.
Yeah, I think DJ
we're winning now.
The first one that goes back down.
Yeah, I think he does too.
You know what's crazy?
Why he started?
But that's what I was just gonna say. Oh my god, we're like on the same fucking wavelength here. Like it's crazy because we were like just dogging this fucking dude since a fucking podcast 1. But when I was telling you about how the reason we brought him up is that guy was a fucking beast in AAA. Yeah. When Bumgarner was coming up, rehabbing and shit, that fool threw fucking 3 home runs off of him. Like he's fucking tearing it up.
Yeah.
And he just can't do it in the big leagues, I guess. I don't know.
And you were saying like maybe it's because he's getting starstruck. Well, my only pushback to that argument is like, how many fucking games do you have to just be starstruck before you hit the ball, dude?
Fucking get out of it already, dude.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. DJ Peters needs to go.
Maybe it's
defensively he's good, I guess.
Yeah, you just catch the fly balls.
He just catches the fly balls. Yeah, he doesn't really have to do much.
Maybe it's the pitching caliber. Like, well, he did fucking get 3 home runs on Bumgarner, but Bumgarner was rehabbing an injury and coming back, so he was still cold.
And he sat his bitch ass down as soon as we played him too. So
yeah, but I'm saying in AAA, maybe those pitchers ain't as good as the pros, and maybe that's why Peters is having problems.
Yeah,
maybe he's like right in the middle, dude. Like he's better than the AAA guys, but he's not good enough for the pros, and he just needs to get over that fucking hump.
Yeah, and then I was looking at the batting average, like Noisy and Riley, I think they got home runs, but their batting average is dog shit too. So outside of those home runs, they got jack shit. And then the only hit that DJ Peters had was like an error, I think. It was like close enough to be a base hit, but close enough to be like almost like an error. It wasn't an error. He dropped it. Yeah, it was that blue pit, and then he dropped it.
Oh, that's
and they counted it as a base hit.
I wouldn't even collect that ball. He collected the ball after.
He was like, "Give me the ball."
Hit.
Yeah, I was like, dude.
I wouldn't count that. Oh,
yeah, I would have
put it back into play, throw in the fucking crowd.
Yeah, I would have caught that ball, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hate to hate on the guy, but he kind of sucks.
Yeah, until he gets over that hump.
Shit. Yeah.
But the way I see it, even though baseball season's really early on, and this could get us into our next topic, is if we get healthy at the right time, nobody's going to want to see us in the playoffs. Just the same way nobody wants to play the fucking Lakers now that they're healthy. Nobody wants to see them fucking. We took the MVP, the best player in basketball right now, Steph Curry, to the limit.
Hell yeah.
To the limit and won that playoff game.
Dude, I'm so upset you had work that next day.
I know.
And I'm so mad you didn't watch that game because it was an instant classic. I mean, it's Steph Curry versus LeBron in the play-in. They don't consider it a playoff. Apparently, the announcers saying they don't consider it a playoff, but it might as well be. It's a postseason game. It was Steph Curry versus LeBron in the postseason.
It was a classic, dude, because like it has implications of who you're playing. It's just like a playoff game. It goes into the bracket. Like I think it's super important, dude.
Yeah, but what's weird though is what they were saying, which is I don't know how to feel about this. The play-in game doesn't count for playoff stats, nor does it count for regular season stats.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so the play-in stats are the play-in stats. It doesn't count for the regular season stats or the postseason stats. So if LeBron beats the shit out of everybody in the play-in tournament and then makes it into the playoffs and then sucks, his play-in stats are not going to balance it out. Which is weird.
Yeah, that's very weird.
But that game was an instant classic. Beginning to end, it was so lit. And then the way LeBron won that game for us, if you had not been asleep, we would have been losing our shit screaming. So LeBron, earlier in the game, I don't know if you saw it, but he had went up for a shot and Draymond Green slapped him on his face, like trying to block it. They almost called it everybody was calling it a flagrant.
Yeah, like he did on purpose.
Flagrant, that's what it is.
Yeah.
That he did it on purpose, but they obviously didn't call it that, and he hit his 2 free throws. But when he hit him on the face, trying to block it, he like poked his left eye. And I don't know if LeBron was bullshitting or acting or what, but he hurt his eye and his eye was kind of shut a little bit. His eye wasn't red, so that's why I kind of like, hey, did he really poke him in the eye? I don't know. I'd have to rewatch it back. But anyway, in the moment, it seemed like he poked him in the eye, and he was in his left eye. And LeBron in the post game interview said, "I was seeing 3 nets."
Yeah, I read that.
And the score was 100-100. There was like 40 seconds left. LeBron, covered by guess who? Steph Curry, pulls up from deep. Like with 5 seconds on the shot clock, pulls up from deep, being covered by Steph Curry to hit the game-winning 3.
Well, it was.
Oh shit! LeBron, baby, the go!
Well, the only reason it was so deep is the pass was almost bad.
Yeah,
like he had to jump to get it, and it pushed him back, and then he just because of the time had to let that shit off.
I don't even think it was a balanced shot. I think he was off balance when he shot it.
It was almost like a fucking fadeaway half quarter. I don't know if that's fucking real.
Yeah.
Like a fadeaway from half court. Like, what the fuck?
I was telling my friend Brandon Heffy, shout out Brandon Heffy, who's a big LeBron fan. I was like, you can't write it better.
No.
Hitting the game-winning 3 against the Golden State Warriors on Steph Curry with your left eye poked.
And he's he's 3 behind Kobe for all time for go-ahead last-minute shots.
Really?
Kobe's at 101, they said, and LeBron, that puts him at 98, I believe, for most all-time last-minute, either overtime or regulation go-ahead scores.
Yeah. Really?
You know what's crazy, too, is I woke up in the middle of the night with fucking heartburn, so I ate some Tums, and I looked at my phone, and I read one of your messages, and it says, we're getting our ass beat, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
You know? So then I laid down, whatever, went to sleep, my alarm went off in the morning. I get up and I see yours all capped, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
I thought I went to bed all like, oh.
Yeah,
fuck.
they were kicking the shit out of us going into the second half, and then we came back, and then LeBron hit the game-winning 3. But it was funny. It was funny because I started laughing a little bit because in the final moments with like 30 seconds left, we blocked it, and then we got the ball back, and then it was Golden State's ball with 10 seconds left. And Steph Curry had the ball, and I was like, shit, don't do it to me, man. Don't do it, Steph. Please don't do it. But we, like, 4-stacked him. We were like, no, we ain't letting you get this shot, dickhead. And so, like, Steph physically couldn't shoot because he had, like, 4 guys on him, which, I mean, he shot with 4 guys. But, I mean, you got, like, Kyle Kuzma and, like, all these guys on you who are, like, 6'4", huge as shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, covering you. I mean, there's not much you could do for Steph. And then tried passing the ball, and then they lost.
I'm glad I didn't see that because I would have been traumatized and had, like, flashbacks to the UCLA game.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that shit hurt, dude. Like, that for those few minutes, I was just like, I would not want to live through that again.
We wouldn't have lost had Steph Curry made a buzzer beater. Like, it would have went to overtime, but still, I wouldn't want to have to overtime.
You don't want to give
Curry.
that guy a shot. Like, he's fucking not only the MVP of this year, but he's the MVP of the league. Like, going forward, like, he's the one, dude.
You're going to overtime against Steph Curry, and they even said before the game that they wanted to give LeBron a certain amount of minutes. They wanted to give him 25 to 30 minutes because he hurt his left ankle. So they want to keep him off the floor as much as possible. They ended up going over that because LeBron had to go in there and win the game because he's the GOAT. But, like, they initially wanted to take him out at a certain time because of his ankle.
Yeah.
But the only reason why they kept him in is because, they were, like, tied. And then, they didn't want to lose. So
what pisses me off
the
is,
greatest
like,
ever.
People are talking shit about LeBron, calling him a bitch, or he's the greatest actor ever because of his ankle. Fucking Paul Pierce did it first against Kobe with the Celtics, where he had his fucking team carry him out to the fucking locker room. Turns out he even admits now because he had to take a shit. Like, you want to talk about actor? He turned the whole fucking momentum around. He did all that shit. Nobody said anything about that. LeBron's got it could be an actual legit injury. Oh, he's such a bitch. No, you're just a hater.
Yeah, you just don't want to see LeBron win. You're just mad he's in Los Angeles.
Yeah, for real.
Instead of Cleveland or Miami,
dude. But, like, the reason people are fearing the Lakers, they're gonna fear their Dodgers when the time comes for the playoffs. If we get healthy, the way we're playing the first 15 games, even me and you were talking about, like, fuck, these guys are bad. Like, nobody's gonna fucking touch the Dodgers.
Yeah. Injury
bug happened. Imagine they all come back at the right time. As long as we stay in to make the playoffs like the Lakers did, we'll be fine.
Yep. And tomorrow you said it was Garbrandt versus Font?
Yeah.
I got
Font's fucking dangerous, dude.
Is he really?
Yeah. And
I've never heard of him.
And then with Cody, it's for one, you don't know what Cody's gonna show up. If the Cody shows up that fought fucking Dominic Cruz, like that's a guaranteed win. But Cody is not scared, man. And he goes in there and he does some flashy shit because how quick he is. And you just get worried because he like, I don't know, a fucking switch flicks in his head and he just goes to war and he's ready to fucking chuck him with you. But when he gets cracked too, it's lights out.
Yeah.
That's the scary part.
He's got a soft chin.
Yeah, he's got one of the quickest and most powerful shots for his weight. But I don't know, he worries me, man. He's one of my favorite fighters, but he worries me.
The only guy who beat him who knocked him out was TJ. And the only reason why TJ did it was because, one, TJ was on roids. Yeah. And then, two, TJ got it in his head big time and, like, almost pissed him off too much where he didn't want to go in there and have, like, a technical fight. He wanted to go in there and beat the shit out of TJ. So that's my only pushback on that.
Well, his very next fight, he got knocked out again.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I don't know who the fuck it was. I don't even know who it was. But he fucking dropped him. But Cody changed his training camp. Now he's with Mark Henry. And those guys have been sparring and training with Frankie Edgar. So, he's probably got good footwork now. So, and those guys talk a lot about being in the right headspace, thinking a certain way. And like I was telling you before the podcast, they were saying, like, Cody, you're kind of risking a lot by taking this fight because he was guaranteed a title shot at 125 against Figueroa or Moreno. And they're like, if you lose, you could possibly lose that hype and lose a title shot at 125 and possibly becoming double champ. Mm-hmm. And he put out there, and he was like, the moment you entertain fear is the moment you entertain an area for that fear to hide. Or some shit like that. But it was some cool fucking gangster shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck. And he's like, I'm not going to ever be afraid to fucking fight.
Yeah.
This is my job. I'm going to fucking throw down when I need to throw down. Yep. I don't want to break. I don't want to wait. I want to stay active. Mm-hmm. And you got to fucking give the guy props for that, man.
Yeah, Cody's the man. He's one of my favorite fighters.
Great nickname, too.
No Love, so dope. And then when Bruce announces his name, it's even cooler. I have Garbrandt winning, knocking him out in the first round. I hope
so, dude.
I don't know who Font is, but Cody is just, especially in his fight against Sun Sao, He just looks like a different breed.
Yep. And
He
that
looks
was
like
when
he's
he had
coming back
Mark
10 times
Henry.
stronger.
He had Mark Henry training him.
Yep.
And
And
that
he
was
hit
like
him with
one of
that flush, like feint knockout, right hand.
like
Ooh.
fucking picture perfect, dude. Like right at the
On
buzzer.
the buzzer, yep.
He was like doing a little thing, like his head moving, miss, bop, and it was almost like a slap. He was just like boom,
Yeah.
and then out. It was an ugly sound, and he just a walk off, like a
Yep.
walk off homer, just a walk off knockout, dude.
Yep.
Fucking beautiful.
I think Cody could become the double champ.
Yeah, for sure.
I think he can.
And he deserves it.
Hell
He's
yeah.
a great fighter. He puts on great shows. He don't put on boring fights. You know, that I sent you that other stat where every fight he's been in, every fight in the UFC, I think they said he had 10 fights, and in 10 fights, every fight has a knockdown, whether it's him getting knocked down or the other guy.
Yeah.
10 fights, 15 knockdowns. That's crazy.
Yeah, because he knocked down TJ both times, right?
Yeah, and then he got knocked down when he got knocked out.
Well, yeah, he knocked TJ down first every time, and then he got slept
Yeah.
minutes
he was winning.
after that.
Yeah, he was winning.
He was winning both fights, yeah.
Yeah, and then
Easy.
Dominic Cruz got knocked down like fucking 16 times in his fucking fight.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much it, right? Is there anything else we could talk about?
Go mess with the mouse. See how much time we got in there. I'm sure we could fucking come up with something. But we also don't want to go too long like we used to.
Yeah.
But stuck in an elevator, man. That's what I'm talking about.
An hour. So
Oh,
we can end it here if
about
you
right.
want.
God damn, now that the fucking screen's back on, my fucking fat ass, bro. I gotta fucking sit with some posture so I don't look as fucking fat. Like that or something, you know?
So
it's
I
like
think
fucking too late. It's already an hour of me being all fucking fat in the corner. See, I should have leaned forward like this, man. You gotta fucking tell me these things, dude. You're my fucking partner in crime in this thing, man. You gotta fucking help me out here. Oh, so the new format. We could close it out with that.
Oh, okay. So to close out the podcast, we're gonna do so now that we're making it official with stuck in an elevator with Xander and Eric Vasquez, we're gonna do the whole revamp, and then we want to come out with 2 to 3 times a month, maybe every other week.
Yeah, we're gonna do
we're gonna take turns doing solo Q&A podcasts.
Yeah.
Where once a week, in addition to the episode we're doing together, or maybe if we can't, for whatever reason, record a podcast together, we'll use it as a replacement. But you'll have content every week, no matter what. No matter if we can make it to do the podcast together or not, you're going to have content every week. We're going to take turns switching off doing solo podcasts by ourselves. So feel free to send in questions down below. You could ask someone specifically for when they do their specific episode. But we're going to do Stuck in an Elevator with Xander Vasquez one week, and then we're going to do Stuck in an Elevator with Eric Vasquez one week where it's just a solo podcast. Or maybe we name it something different.
I think we should stick with the name, like you said, with the names. And it's like I think we do a group one like we did right now.
Mm-hmm.
So next week is going to be just you. So we got to get the names out and all the IGs and all that out. And then you guys got to flood us with questions for X.
Mm-hmm.
And then the following week we'll do a team one again. And then the week after will be my solo, and then we'll go back to a team solo, and we'll go that way.
Yeah, we'll just take turns.
Yeah. So if you're watching this one, let's start getting those questions in, and then we're also this weekend going to work on getting the TikToks and all that to get it going for the questions for Q&A.
Put some highlights on there, yeah.
So you guys ain't going to see me for 2 weeks because next week it's going to be X, and then you'll see me back 2 weeks from now.
Okay. And then no, they'll see you. They'll see you as normal next week, because they're gonna get this on Monday, and then we'll record on Saturday. Oh no, because you're not gonna be. Are you gonna be here next Saturday?
Yeah, but next Saturday is gonna be yours. It's your solo.
Oh, so we're not doing it in addition. All right, hold on. We're coming up with it on the spot, because I thought what we were gonna do was, I was gonna record my solo on Wednesday and release it on like Friday or Thursday, and then there's an additional episode.
No, I don't think we should do additional episodes because I think if we do that too much, we're gonna run out of content. Like we kind of got this on the fly, and we're like trying to fish for shit. So I think next week should just be yours.
Okay.
And then the following week it should be both of us.
Mm-hmm.
And then the following week just me. And then we go that way so we don't run out of content. And then we make sure the group, because what if you talk about some stuff on your solo one, and then we try to do the group one, and it's like, oh, you already talked about it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's fair. That's fair. Okay, so next week, next Monday, you'll get an episode that's just me.
Yep.
So feel free to throw your questions down below for my episode, and then we'll see him in 2 weeks. And then the week after that, you'll see me in 2 weeks from the next time we do a podcast together.
Yeah.
So yeah, like what you were saying, the reason why we're doing this is because we want to keep the episodes fresh. And I was telling him that, it gets hard sometimes to talk about the things we want to talk about when one of us doesn't know what the hell the other one's talking about.
Yeah.
Because we want this podcast to be us bouncing off of each other, and it's hard to bounce off of each other when one of us doesn't know what the hell the other one's talking about.
Yeah.
Because I think in the first episode, I went on like a tangent for 30 minutes about WWE, and you weren't up to date with what was happening with WWE at the time, and so you were just kind of letting me go. And there's nothing wrong with that, but we want these episodes to be fast-paced, back and forth,
and entertaining.
Yeah. So we're gonna do the additional episodes, or not the additional episodes, but the solo episodes, so we could talk about whatever we want to talk about. So we could finish trains of thought. We could just have an hour to ourselves to talk about whatever, and then the next week we're gonna come to, like you said, so we're gonna come back together, and then the following week we're gonna switch off. So that's gonna be the new format. Stuck in an elevator with Xander and Eric Vasquez. Yeah, we want this to be the next best thing. Check us out on Spotify, Stuck in an Elevator. Whatever you can find podcasts on, whatever you listen to podcasts on, you'll find us there at Stuck in an Elevator with and you'll find us on Twitter at Hopefully Stuck in an Elevator, Instagram at Stuck in an Elevator, TikTok at Stuck in an Elevator. Everything you can find will be in the description below. Make sure you check us out in the description below. And you can find me at twitter.com/BuckyBarney with 2 Y's, twitch.tv/BuckyBarney with 2 Y's. You can find me on there playing video games and just chatting the bullshit. That's where you could watch me live and you could interact with me personally. And then Instagram at, XanderMV3. You could leave questions on either of those. And I check everything. He checks everything. So feel free to leave your questions there. And then I'll see you next week.
Yeah, share us, man. Share. Like, subscribe.
Comment down below.
And we want to be interactive, too. So please, guys, shoot us those questions, topics you want us to talk about.
Yep.
We know this podcast is for us, but it's also for you guys. It's something to keep on Monday morning when you're going to work. We want to help put a smile on your face or put a thought in your brain. You're like, man, that's crazy. Or I wonder what they think about this. You know what I mean? So be interactive with us. Go out there, put your comments, and yeah, man, I appreciate you guys checking us out, and I'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
All right, see you guys in a week.
Let's get the fuck about this elevator.
Yeah, let's get out. All right.